very good morning, children. We had finished our Unit 1, that is Voyage 1. Now, in this class, today we are going to start with Voyage 2, subject English, and the name of the lesson is 2.1, The Clothes Line, written by Charlotte Druitt Cole. Before starting the poem, students, let me tell you in short, about the poet. Charlotte Druitt Cole was born on 13 January 1878. She wrote many poems which is specially based on the interest of children. A book of play for children, Trails for Little Folk are some famous books of Charlotte Druitt Cole. In this poem, children, the poet describes the clothes on a clothesline in a very imaginative way. So this poem is an imaginative poem. So students, let us begin with the first stanza. Now I'm reading the one stanza, then I will explain you the poem. Hand in hand they dance in a row, hither and thither and to and fro. Flip, flap, flop, and away they go, fluttering creatures as white as snow. Okay, let me tell you the meaning first. Hither and thither means children in many different directions. Flip, flap, flop means noise made by the clothes while moving in the wind on the clothesline. And fluttering means children moving lightly and quickly. Now, in the first stanza, the poet is saying that the clothes appear as if they are holding their hands and dancing in a row. They are also moving in a different direction due to wind and making a flopping noise. And the poet also calls them fluttering creatures that are as white as snow. Now, let's see the second stanza. Like restive horses, they caper and prance. Like fairy tales witches, they widely dance. Rounded in front, but hollow behind, they shiver and skip in the merry March wind. Now here the prance means walk or move with high. And caper means children skip or dance about in a lively playful manner. And wildly means children violently. Now in this second stanza, the poet has compared the clothes on the clothesline with the restless horses jumping and moving quickly, and also compared with the fairy tales witches who dance widely. Similarly, the clothes are dancing. The poet further said that it is a month of March and it is a windy outside, and as the wind is blowing, the clothes are rounded in front, but behind it's a hollow. Now let us see in the third stanza what the poet is saying. Once I saw dancing excitedly, struggling so wildly till she was free. Then, leaving pegs and clothesline behind her, she flew like a bird and no one can find her. Now, the poet saw one of the clothes dancing excitedly, struggling wildly till she was free. That is, the wind was strong that one of the clothes was released free from the pegs. Pegs you can see in the slide, children. The pegs are given in the pictures. And the clothesline, then the clothes flew off like a bird. And the wind was very strong. Within a minute, it was out of the outside. And children, nobody knows where it is now, or it went where no could find it also. Now let's see the last stanza. For the next stanza, I saw her gleam like a sail in the sun, flipping and flapping and flopping for fun. Nobody knows where she now can be, hit in a ditch or drawn in the sea. Now, in this stanza, children, the poet is describing the clothes that were released in the wind, and it was like a cell in the sun, in the blue sky. The clean white cloth was looking like cell. The moments when flying clothes was very exciting. It gave a resonating feeling to the poet. But children, nobody knows where it is now, where the piece of cloth might have gone, whether it is hidden in a ditch or drawn in the sea. Now let's see in the last two lines what the poet is saying now. She was my handkerchief not long ago, but she will never come back to my pocket, I know. So, in the last two lines, the poet reveals that the piece of cloth that she was talking about was her handkerchief, which is now gone. And she knew that, children, that she would knew that it will not come back to her pocket. Okay, children, now here we had completed our poem. Now let us see the meanings of the poem. First one is hither and thither. It means children in many different directions. Second one, flip, flap, flop means noise made by the clothes while moving in the wind on the clothesline. Third one, fluttering means moving lightly and quickly. Fourth one, children, restive means restless, means fidgety, means unable to remain still. Fifth one, caper means leap, skip or dance about in a lively, playful manner. Sixth one, prance means walk or move with high, springy steps. Seventh one, clips of wood or plastic to attach wet clothes to the clothesline. And the last eighth one, ditch means a pit at the side of a road or field. Okay, now children, we had completed with our meanings too. Now I want you to just write this poem, The Clothesline, in your notebook one time and the meanings one time in your notebook. Okay, children, now let's discuss question and answer of this chapter 2.1, The Clothesline. Okay, let us start. Answer the following questions with reference to the poem. Okay, children, why I'm discussing the question answers with you? That first of all, I want you to understood exactly the what the chapter is given, what the chapter is based on. First, you people have to understood what is the main content. Then it will be easy for you to answer the question. Now, let us start with the first question. What is described in the poem? Now, children, what is described in the poem? The fluttering and dancing clothes on the clothesline, and particularly the poet's handkerchief, are described in the poem. Now, move to the next question. What are the clothes compared to? Give two examples. Now we have to say what are the clothes compared to that we have seen in the second stanza. The clothes are compared to restive horses and fairy tale witches. And what are the examples are given? The fluttering creatures and the birds. Now see the third one. What do restive horses do? What restive horses do? Restive horses caper and prance. Caper means skip or dance about in a lively, and prance means walk or move with high sprinkly steps. That means about that we are talking about the handkerchief, the poet's handkerchiefs. Now, the fourth question. What do fairy tale witches do? What the fairy tale witches do? Fairy tale witches dance wildly. That means violently. Fifth one. What did one of the fluttering creatures do? Now, what the one of the fluttering creatures do? The fluttering creatures danced wildly struggled and freed herself, and then flew away. Now, see the last question. What could have happened to the one who flew away? Who was she? Now, children, in the last stanza, in the last two lines, we have seen that one who flew away could have fallen in a ditch and somewhere or drowned in the sea. Who was she? She was the poet's handkerchief. So, okay, now let us see, children, what are the rhyming words are there in this poem, and that one more new topic I am going to explain you, that I rhyme. Now, rhyming words, you all are knowing what are the rhyming words. Rhyming words are two or more words that have the same similar ending sound. That means we say that two or more words rhyme, that they end with the same sound are called as a rhyming words. Now see this up for example. Row fro, go snow, prance dance, her, her. Now her rhyming word will be the her only. Sun, fun, be, see, ago, no. Now these are the rhyming words from the poem. Now let us see what is I rhyme. I rhyme means, children, the rhyming in this type is based on spelling and not sound. That means I rhyme means that is based on the spelling, children, not on the sound, but rhyming words are based on the sound. So, understood the difference between rhyming and I rhyme? Let us see. There is some example of I rhyme. For example, first one, laughter, daughter. Now here you can see, children, the sound are different, but the spellings you can see the same. Second one, none, shun. Again over here the spellings are same but the sounds are different. Third one, shut, put. Fourth one, imply, simply. So have you note, children, that they have the similar spellings? They look the same but they are pronounced differently. That is I rhyme. So it's clear, student. Now you have understood the difference between what is I rhyme and rhyming words. Okay. Now I want you to just complete all your notes whichever given related to this chapter. And once again, I'm, children, just telling you whatever I'm explaining with the chapter. Please focus on the chapter and the content and just try to understand the chapter. That means like a story, you have to understood the chapter. Don't just read and tell, yeah, it's okay. No, you have to understood because it's an English subject. So you have to understood the content. Okay, now in the next class, we will see with the further chapter.